birds flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Goat Locker. Welcome to Hot Atlanta here at Atlanta Motor Speedway on this beautiful Thursday night for the Goat Locker Relevant Truck Series. Truck Series presented by Relevant. Good evening, folks. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got Dean Hopton Biggles up here, the Australian. Dean, I finally got it right. It took me about 4 or 5 weeks to finally get that right. But Dean, we got you lined up, get the name right, got it all lined up. And folks, I'm telling you right now, these guys, I mean, we're in for a hell of a show here this evening with these trucks on the old asphalt of Atlanta. This is a little bit different from what you would see if you was to drive to Hampton, Georgia, more or less right in my backyard. This is not the track that you would actually see. This is one thing that I really love about iRacing is you can kind of throw it back, I guess, a little bit. So this is the legacy version, quote unquote, of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old bumpy wore out surface, not the super speedway surface right after they just repaved it about 2 years ago. So not gonna have to worry about a lot of super speedway drafting this week. It's all gonna be about tire wear. It's all gonna be about saving those tires. And it's all gonna be about throttle management, especially coming off of turn 2. I've already seen a couple guys in practice already get loose just a little bit, but do want to mention, as we are coming to the end of qualifying, want to mention that car show. Yeah, folks, we've been talking about it probably for about a month now. Guess what? It is this Saturday. If you do not end up making it to that thing, well, I guess you're probably from Georgia because you're too far away. But if you're in the Indianapolis, Indiana area, obviously you see the address right there on your screen, 7225 Winton Drive, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46268. Make sure you're there this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that car show. Indeed, we're getting ready, baby. We got the grid up, and look at who is on the pole. Shout out to Ray Ellenson and Dougie. Doug Ellenson out there in the live chat. Mr. Doug Ellenson, how are you? Well, I guarantee you both of you's going to be tickled to death about this. Jake, your son, going to be on the pole, the only one to hit a 30.8 this evening in qualifying. So he will start on the pole. And Peyton Hubbard, saw him have a pretty good run last week at Charlotte. He's going to be rolling off from P2 on the outside of row number 1. Jamie Mullins will roll off in P3 with Big Daddy, as I talked about him last week. Big Daddy, Jeremy Gardner, going to be in P4. George Jewell, Shasta, out there in the chat, good evening to you as well. George Jewell rolling off in P5 with Jason Kraft rolling off in P6. Andy Kurtz, last season's champion with the Veterans for Life ARCA Series, is going to roll off in P7. With Craig Bontrager will start in P8. Mike George and Tyler Justice, they're going to round out the top 10. Scott Formosa will roll off P11. With Jonathan Barker rolling off in P12. Alan Marshall and Zach Engel, they're going to make up 13th and 14th, respectively. Johnny Cofield and Brandon Wallace, 15th and 16th. Colton Lanford will be 17th. James Kaufman will be 18th. Brandon Barrier, 19th. And Chance Taylor is going to roll off tonight in P20. James Goshen and Kyle Plumstead, they're going to make up 21st and 22nd, with Timothy Williams in 23rd, Tyler Brown 24th. Sam Milliken will end up be 25th. Then Jeremiah Holt will be in 26th. John Anthony, 27th. Dustin Hardy will be 28th. Matt Knights will be 29th. And Old Stub Nation back there in the 92, Timothy Stubblefield is going to roll off P30. Justin Klein, Mark Hollifield, Eric Martinez, Joe Hobbs, and David Kamara will be the 35 trucks here at Atlanta for the Truck Series presented by Relevant. But Dean, how are we doing, baby? We are in the deep south right here in Hot Atlanta. How are we doing?
In your backyard, my friend. Of course, barbecues are all over the place on the back stretch at the moment. Welcome, everybody, of course. Good to see a huge turnout here this evening. Loving everybody, of course. Doug as well, too. We got Ray. We even have V-Speed in here. We've got everybody in here. Take care, your drivers and your family members and everybody you'd like to see get your way to the top of the timesheets and to see Barney waving that lovely old checkered flag there, my friend.
Yeah, we cannot wait. It's damn near a family affair here tonight at Atlanta. Got the whole family out there, V-Speed, obviously Ray and Doug. Appreciate Doug for everything that he's done with Goat Locker. Happy to have him back in live chat and happy to hear that he is doing fantastic. Folks, here we go. Pace truck is off. Jake Ellison, Peyton Hubbard, they're in the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air, and we're racing here tonight in Atlanta. Jake Ellison down on the bottom side, Hubbard up top. Gardner trying to see if he can give Hubbard a little bit of a shove. Remember, folks, this is not the super speedway version of Atlanta. This is the old surface. Got to be careful, not burn those tires up. Ellison gets clear off Hubbard coming off turn 2.
And it looks like we got a bit of a almost three-way battle in the background here, Cara, at the moment. George Schuell there. There's Craig, Andy Kurtz, of course. A little bit of situation. Oh, the 49! How's that for a save for Craig? Keep it saved, my friend. Pointing in the right direction. He's done it there. He's going to drop like a stone, my friend. But the save at the century. Brilliant.
Drop like a stone, drop like a rock. Bontrager sliding through the field. Way back here with Brandon Barrier. Barrier ends up splitting him with Cofield. Both of them split Bontrager. But now we got one way off to the side. Trying to figure out exactly. That's the 38 that goes off. That's Jason Kraft. But hell of a save by Kraft, able to jump back up on the track as here we go. Hubbard on the outside, Gardner down on the bottom. Gardner going for second on Hubbard as they hit the line.
Action, action, action. But so far, so good at keeping it out of the fence, keeping it out of the wall, keeping it out of other trucks as well too, Jacob. Big battle at the moment behind Jake leading this one. Jeremy Gardner and Peyton Hubbard there getting the job done. Back single file, my friend. And, oh, well, it's going to be very, very exciting. Loving to see it there. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Brandon Wallace up. Oh, Mr. Caulfield's gone in the inside somewhere along the outside. They're in the inside, Mr. Caulfield. Yes, he has. But still, green, green, green.
Yeah, I mean, Dean, we've seen a lot of guys already go down to the inside like that. I mean, damn near dropping down below the apron, coming off of turn number 2. I think it's got a lot to do with guys coming off of turn 2. We talked about it. Everybody's got to be careful to be able to not to put too much throttle down. You can easily spin the tires coming off of turn number 2, and I think that's what we've seen a lot of here tonight as we got a caution, and it's a big one coming off of turn 2. A lot of the back half of the field ends up getting piled in. There you see the 46 going around. That's Dustin Hardy. Everybody kind of piles in right here on lap 4 here at Atlanta.
Well, we got a few great laps under our belt, my friend, before we had the first caution of the day. But yes, that's generally what happens when you have a pack of field coming in here. And I think at the moment, you can look at the 54 machine. It's going to be the outside. No, the 44 is just, what happened to the 44? Jacob, he just come.
Well, I mean, he got loose. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, Barker gets loose right there. The 54 had a hell of a run. 54 went up, slammed the fence, and that being Brandon Barrier in the 54, and then it was just a chain reaction from there. You'll see right here, Barker, you see him right here slide up a little bit. Back end starts to come around. He tries to straighten it out. Barrier was already up in the fence, and then he just comes down, cleans out Bontrager of all people, and then the 46, just an innocent bystander, Dustin Hardy, ends up getting hit about 1 or 2, maybe even 3 times. It looked like a damn pinball literally going off of turn number 2, but a lot of drivers getting involved here early at Atlanta, folks. They do have one fast repair, so if they end up getting any type of damage that is bad enough to where they'll probably have to get a meatball flag, or if they just get a little scratch on it and they want to try to keep a clean truck, they can go in and get a completely brand new truck in a matter of seconds. It's like magic, Dean. Kind of crazy how you can just get a brand new truck like that and not even have to pay for it. I mean, there's a lot of people that would probably love to have that in real life.
That's the magic, isn't it, of virtual racing, my friend, is that you can keep going and not, have a whole field that's going to, eventually come down to like 20 trucks at the end of the day, because we have 35 on the field. But, we have to use the virtual technology to the best of our abilities, and it creates some fantastic, exciting racing course, but it's still limited, so you don't want to wreck your truck too often. Otherwise, you're going to be riding around with like 3 tires, perhaps, rather than 4, and things like that. We've seen worse, haven't we, there, Jacob? We've seen cars just like completely dinged up, but still in it. Got to be in it to win it. This man is still in P1. The man from Milwaukee will be back in just a short second there to show the setups that Jacob uses on Monday nights.
Yeah. Folks, we're back here at Atlanta. There you see the Big Fish Barbecue. The pole award was Jake Ellenson. He ends up getting the Big Fish Barbecue pole award. So, pretty cool right there, honestly. I've never really had fish barbecue, Dean. Have you had fish barbecued?
Yeah, I've had kangaroo and wichita grubs and anything else barbecued.
Okay.
But I'll give it a shot if I'm there, my friend. And we'll see, of course, as they're about to come out to 3 into the digging their way out of turns 3 into turn 3, 4. Pace car will be peeling in, Jacob. We should get some good green flag racing. Welcome to Goat Locker.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody happy to be here. And obviously, you saw the ad. Premier Racing Setups. You need one, you know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com. Enter the code NASRA. Get that 15% discount off your entire order. As we got some guys up here that looking like they're driving with a little bit of a Premier Racing setup. On the gas, Jake Ellenson. Jeremy Gardner back here following in line. Jeremy Gardner knows about them Premier Racing setups as well. He's up there on that top side with Hubbard. So there you see with Jeremy Gardner in second. You need one, you know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com going all the way to the lead on the inside of Jake Ellenson going into 3.
He got it done. He got it done. And Jake gave the position up or not, but that's 42. That's 3 positions gained for the 42 machine. Give a big shout out, of course, for everybody is supporting their drivers. Peyton, at the moment that we're riding on board with, has a little bit of a Jamie coming tooth and nail in his tailpipe, my friend. So, we want beef, of course. And look at that. Sim Racing Products use code BANDITS1 at the checkout. And that's, of course, from Peyton Hubbard. Silveroo Machine! As they're battling it out currently at the moment. About to start lap 10.
Well, I'll say this right now. Jamie Mullins may not want to have any of them Sim Racing Products because, I mean, he was all up on the tailgate and give him a pretty good shove right there. But he's going to try to slide him up a track, see if he maybe can find his way down the inside. Hubbard going to try to block that advance. Here comes Mike George in the 29, going to take a shot. Andy Kurtz up on the top side. He's going to take a shot on George Jewell. A lot of Goat Locker regulars we're seeing up here at the front, Dean. Obviously, Gardner, a Goat Locker regular. Jake Ellenson, real high up, I guess you could say, within the Goat Locker train, I guess up there with Patrick Dravick and all of them. Peyton Hubbard, he's kind of stuck in the middle. As now George is stuck into the wall. Mike George goes up, gets into the wall just a little bit. Kurtz is going to go by. George Jewell's going to go by as George is going to slip back. George and George, basically. It kind of threw me for a little bit of a weird deal right there. But now Mike George sliding back a little bit. Scott Formosa up here. Get some Pat's Blue Ribbons on the hood of that truck. How about you?
Yeah, we kind of need Wesley, don't we? Like George and George sounds like a law firm, doesn't it? But that's trademark to, of course, Wesley Outland. And you'll hear Wesley Outland tomorrow night. But at the moment, focus on tonight, Jacob, because it's heating up here in good old Atlanta.
It is heating up big time. Mike George sliding up the racetrack. Now you got Formosa trying to see if he can ease down to the inside, maybe take a shot. Kurtz trying to hold off George Jewell back here. And also with J.B. Mullins. Mullins has slipped back a little bit. Kurtz trying to get a run on the top side. Kurtz knows how to get it done on some of these older style speedways, Dean. We've seen him already do it in an ARCA car. And these trucks, pretty damn close to what an ARCA car really is. So Kurtz making it work, goes around the outside of Hubbard. He's going to take Jamie Mullins with him. Kind of looking a little bit new school with a little bit of drafting right there. Both of them trying to work together to get around Peyton Hubbard. As up front, Gardner still has the lead, and Jake Ellenson all over his back bumper.
Caution, yellow flag.
And before you even push that button at the moment to change it, we have a caution on the Speedway. Further back, my friend, I don't see any massive gainers or losers here. But we shall find out. Of course, we have a track map. We'll see if anybody's staggling in the back there. We have 44. Looks like you can see current at the moment. There's Jonathan. There's the 46. And that's Dustin. So I'm not sure if they were involved in anything or if that's not a stage break or anything that's been called there. Are they testing us here, Jacob? See if we're paying attention?
No, I mean, I'm looking right now, and yes, you are right. It was the 46. It was Dustin Hardy in a 46 that ends up going around. And
there it is.
Nobody touches him. Nobody touches him, not one bit. He just gets loose coming off of turn number 2. He got loose really going through 1 and 2, or really got tight. And then he ended up just kind of losing it on those old tires on the 46. You'll see him right here. He sends it in. Look at him sawing on that wheel, just trying to make sure it doesn't snap loose.
Oh.
Then he ends up not turning it enough, gets up into the wall. car comes down on the inside, the 14 at Taylor, and then after that, Hardy just basically just hooks a right and tries to get it out of everybody's way, just kind of loses it right there. So second caution on the night right here on lap number 13. And I mean, Dean, you know, I talked about this place, obviously, you know, from Georgia. I've been to Atlanta Motor Speedway numerous times, so I've seen this track, I guess you could say, transform into what it is today. So, you know, I've seen races on this surface, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard. I mean, this is not the easiest track out there to race, because I know, you know, there was a lot of people that have probably said some stuff about, you know, there was so many cautions that's been going on. Obviously, Gardner and them, they talked about it last week, but I mean, some of these tracks these guys are going to, some of these tracks are hard as hell. I mean, they're hard for even me. They're hard for even some of the best to try to get around, especially with this old surface here at Atlanta. So, you know, this ain't no cupcake tracks, folks, that these guys are racing at. They're testing these guys big time. They're testing the skill of all 35 of these drivers here in the field.
You're absolutely right, Jacob. I mean, we're talking about drivers here that have a good average of about 2 KI rating as well, too. So that's no slouch. We've seen some drivers go in and out of pit road. No, that's just by telemetry playing up Jeremy, of course. Here's a 5.1 KI rating. You know, you throw a couple of thousand more of that one, you're in the top tier. I mean, you're in the Coca-Cola Classics and all that sort of stuff on the mainstream. But some of these drivers, of course, do it for fun. They're not here as professional esports race drivers. They're here to support the obviously the fantastic what would you call it? Charities that, remember that this is racing events all about, of course, and that was the charity that we had as well too, Invets as well, that it sponsors last night. And
absolutely,
this is what they do, my friend. You know, it's not always about, like, you know, getting that big trophy there and being the best driver on the planet when it comes to esports. It's also about what you do to help out others.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, and that's one thing about Goat Locker and everything that they do. You know, they do, obviously, you know, they put on a great show for the fans at home to be able to kick back, relax, have a cold one, have some popcorn, have a steak, pretty much whatever you love, and just kick back and enjoy the race. But, I mean, you know, Goat Locker also does a lot for the veterans, which is why I'm 100% proud supporter of Goat Locker. May end up putting them, may end up getting with Patrick and trying to get Goat Locker's logo on the podcast, on the Door Banging Download on Spotify, Dean. That might be something I might get with Patrick about here pretty soon. And they get Patrick on the show, matter of fact. But, I mean, you know, not to take anything away from that, folks. I mean, you know, I'm just, you know, real appreciative of what Goat Locker does and what they do for the veterans, because, I mean, you know, the veterans make the ultimate sacrifice for us. I mean, you know, they're still here with us, and some are not here with us. But, I mean, everything that Goat Locker does for the vets, I mean, it means a lot. And I'm sure it means a lot to them. I've been proud to have them do everything for the veterans in anything that they do. So, it means a lot. And, I mean, that's just awesome, Dean. I mean, anything with a sponsorship for the veterans, Redneck Announcer is all for it.
Exactly, and on top of it, the biggest shout out, of course, it goes to the audience out there. Of course, we have the usual Shasta and Ray and everybody else is supporting it. And Dougie, of course, is even there. And Dougie's not on the best at the moment there, but Jake and Jeremy are right up the top there. But that's the support as well too for the community, and that's what we love. So hit that like and subscribe button. You know how close we are, Jacob? 1 away from 600 subscribers. Who would like to be the lucky one? Well, we'll find out very soon, because I'll tell you what, one person that's lucky to wave a flag will be the Barney, the flag man. 17 of 80 to go. 64, Jacob.
Here we go. Green flags in the air. We're be spinning back in the back. Scott Formosa ends up going around multi-truck pileup at the start-finish line. Everybody scampering, getting on the binders, just trying to lock it down. And a multi-truck accident. I mean, literally before they even got the green flag flown right there. Caution out once again here in Atlanta.
I think that they were too excited to see it. Maybe some of those drivers took their hands on the steering wheel and said, I want to be the 600 subscriber there, Jacob, before they can get around. But I don't think it kind of worked out that way. But we'll go back, of course, and have a look at the replay on that one. I don't know where it all started, but maybe we'll have a look around the Allen Marshall area. Oh, there it is. It's before Allen.
Well, I mean, I was going to say it really started around Mike George is where it really started, and Mike George was the one that actually initiated all the hell and all the chaos really that happened right there, Dean. I mean, pace truck pulls in, George tries to step on the gas. That's one thing about these trucks. Not a lot of guys went down and made pit stops right here under these cautions. And what it's going to do, obviously, we talked about this track. It's basically like a cheese grater. I mean, you end up going to, say, Dover or somewhere in that range. That's basically the track surface that these guys are racing on. And then when you end up getting a lot of wheel spin, you get a lot of wheel spin when these tires are worn out and greasy and everything. And that's what you see right there out of George. I think he just kind of stepped on the throttle just a little bit too much. It wasn't a shift, not by a lot. I mean, well, not by anything. It was nothing to do with the shift. It was all about the throttle input, just because he just ended up putting too much gas on. I mean, he put the loud pedal too damn much is what it was, Dean. And then the back end just started to squirrel around. He tries to straighten it out, gets over into Formosa, and then basically everybody else is just along for the ride, just trying to lock it down.
He said, Jacob, I want to make this car scream loud. Unfortunately, the car said, no, I can't handle it, and screamed a little bit too loud, of course. Cold tires and a heavy pedal to the metal, as they say, as we are seeing a heavy pedal to the metal going down the pit road at the moment. A ton of drivers too, my friend, a ton. Not all of them, but a ton heading down there. And to you, Jacob, because we're 20 down of 80 with 61 to go, is that a strategic pit stop right now? Get some, splash and dash tires, whatever you require to get the job done.
I mean, after I just saw all that wheel spin right there, you're damn right. I'm all for him going down and getting 4 fresh tires, honestly, Dean. I mean, Gardner was one of the first ones to duck in and go down and get 4 fresh tires right there. Jake Ellenson, Jamie Mullins, both of those drivers, they decided to stay out, as well as George Jewell. He stayed out as well. Jason Kraft, all these guys stayed on the racetrack. Gardner basically let everybody else down pit road. So a couple of guys decided to stay out. Some guys decided to go in and get those 4 fresh tires. Now, I don't blame them one bit. I mean, if we look at how many sets these guys have, obviously, 80-lap race, you ain't got to worry about stages or anything like that, as far as right now, at least for the Goat Locker. But they got 4 sets of tires. There's 3 in the pits, 1 on the truck. So I love the call right now of going in and getting 4 freshies, filling it up full of fuel, and sending them back out there. They're not going to be able to make it on fuel, not by a long shot, from here at least. But at the same time, at least you go in and you get 4 freshies, you get a little bit of grip up under you. I think that's what a lot of these drivers really need to be able to get, especially on these restarts. I mean, Jake Ellenson and all them, they fired off pretty good. Gardner might have got a little bit scared about it and just probably said, you know what, I may be Big Daddy, but I may want to get me 4 freshies and try to get it lined up and make sure that we're good to go. At least if they get a long green flag run in right here, Garner and all those guys that got those 4 fresh tires, they're going to be in the catbird seat because they're just going to straight up check out right here. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, pace car coming around off of turn 4, getting ready for a restart. Jake Ellenson up here on the front row with Jamie Mullins up here on the front row. George Jewell up here sitting in 3rd, and Jason Kraft on the outside of row number 2. We do want to mention that Colton Lamford and Kyle Plumstead, both of those guys start outside the top 15. They're up here inside the top 6. So big-time strategy moves being made as they work their way off of turn 2.
Get the job done with the best caster at the moment. I'm sitting there giggling in the background. Sorry, Jacob. Those terminologies that you use in your casting makes you absolutely unique. Of course, and tune in for the Redneck Announcer, of course, on your podcast. And also tune in for the fantastic racing we're having at the moment. And we're also tuning at the moment that it looks like it's Chris out there that said he's the 600th. If you are, my friend, congratulations to the 600s. Man, woman, cat, and dog that have been enjoying this fantastic network as we're enjoying at the moment. Jamie putting a bit of a challenge on Jake leading this race.
Happy to have the 600th subscriber right here in the live chat. Congratulations to you. You get a virtual pat on the back. Up front, Jamie Mullins trying to put a little bit of pressure on his buddy, his good buddy, his teammate up here, Jake Ellenson. Mullins takes a shot, gets the run. He's going to dive it down to the inside. The 66. Jamie Mullins dives down to the inside. Jake Ellenson's going to slip back just a little bit and slip back into that draft. So kick Mullins up to the lead, kick Ellenson back to 2nd. George Jewell up here trying to ride the Kyle Larson line. Make sure he doesn't jump the cushion, but he's holding on to third by at least half a second over Colton Lanford and Jason Kraft. That is your top 5. A couple of other big movers in the field. James Goshen, he started in the 21st spot. He's worked his way up to 9th, but I'm going to tell you this.
No.
He's had a hell of a hole back here. He's got Kurtz back here trying to get around him. He's got Barrier up here as well as Craig Bontrager, and also he's got, Jonathan Barker, a lot of guys back here. Jeremy Gardner on those fresh tires trying to figure out a way up here as well. But this is a damn hornet's nest back here.
You called it. This is a freeway jam at the moment because these drivers, once again, you can kind of see on that little graphic to your very right here. That's the last lap that they boxed. Okay, so obviously you're talking about if you box on lap 15, you're looking good. You box on lap 14 and so forth. If you've got lap 5 or so forth or less, you're not looking as good on those tires that Jacob mentioned, and that's the struggle these drivers are. But there's also a big pace difference there. It's not pace, it's grip, and the inside line there. Who was that at the moment? They've got that little safety barrier there, but further up the field there, Jacob, we still have a battle, and this is around P3, P4, P5, P6. You can count. Big gainers here, huge gainers. Colton, 12. Kyle, 16.
Big time movers, obviously. There you mentioned Colton Lanford and Kyle Plumstead, both of them trying to get up here. James Kaufman up here, he's 18th, started 18th all the way up to 7th. He wants to get him some. Andy Kurtz trying to drive back through the field. Right in front of him, Lanford gets a little bit loose. He dives down to the inside, 3 wide going into turn 3. Now it goes back to 2 wide. As now Lanford, very slow, way down on the apron of the racetrack. He's slipping back. Andy Kurtz is slipping up through the field. He's going to work his way around the 38 of Jason Kraft. So Andy Kurtz, a man on a mission right now, shooting his way all the way up to the 4th spot. Now he's going to see if he can run down Jamie Mullins, Jake Ellison, and George Jewell. Joel actually just got into the fence a little bit off too, but the truck looks pretty good, at least from right here. But there is Andy Kurtz, worked his way around him, and now you're riding on board with Kyle Plumstead. He's trying to get something going, or Kaufman right behind Plumstead. Both these guys trying to get a little run, and Gardner and Bontrager right behind them as well.
It's huge. It's big, actually, because these drivers actually got the temperature in the tires, and they're starting to make some gains, as you said. And these are tire gains too, Jacob. You remember Andy Kurtz, he boxed back at lap 19, so he's got some fresh boots. He's got to hunt down that big pack up the road. But this is where we need to be focused on the camera, my friend. Because, Jacob, I know you like beef, my friend. I know you like throw some beef on the barbecue, but, you know, you never play poker with cows, my friend, because those stakes are just too high.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, folks. Dean cracks me up sometimes. I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, the stakes are too high. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Yeah, I mean, you damn sure don't want to play with, cards with cows, and you really don't want to be playing with the goat locker guys. We got a couple of guys up here almost getting loose, sliding around Bontrager, trying to see if he can keep it straight. He's that side open for Gardner. Gardner's going to try to get him a twofer. He's going to get Bontrager. He's going to get Plumstead right here. So Jeremy Gardner on the move, looking to try to get around Kyle Plumstead. He's going to get around him. Now he's going to set his sights on Kaufman. See if he can try to get up there and get him some too. And also, Dean, you were talking about don't play cards with cows. Don't play cards with women neither. They'll take your money all day long.
Oh, he got some beef right in the commentary box. I love it, but this is fantastic course. Jamie's still leading from Jake. They're still 2 for now up the road there. We're not going to show the cameras too much to them because this is where the beef is, of course. This is where the cows is. And, well, it's sweet home at Atlanta. I'm not going any further than that one. I'm happy everybody's enjoying themselves this evening here. And congratulations, 600 subscribers. And I'll tell you what, these gentlemen, these gladiators are putting on the show, my friend. We just put the cameras, we just talk about them. They do the work.
Oh, wow, Bontrager barrier, I should say, in the 54 ends up getting really loose right there. Almost lost it right there. He was trying to battle right there with Tyler Brown and Chance Taylor back here, trying to get him some as well. We saw Chance Taylor go down pit road. I think he got involved in one of those first 2 accidents, but he's able to get the truck straightened out and get it going. Green flag run in right here, Dean. Obviously, this is something that the fans has really been wanting to see, and they've been able to get to see it here at Atlanta on one of the hardest tracks, like I was talking about. This is literally one of the hardest tracks that you will see these guys end up racing on on iRacing. So got to be careful with them tires, and you got to be careful with Andy Kurtz up front. Andy Kurtz going up to the outside on Jamie Mullins. He's trying to go for the lead. Mullins on the bottom. Kurtz trying to pinch him down. Maybe get the run. Check it out. He's throwing it back to Jeff Gordon with that pace scheme, and he basically pulled a Jeff Gordon move right there on Jamie Mullins. Andy Kurtz to the lead.
That's tires, my friend. I mean, at the skill level at the moment, Eddie Kurtz is a very skilled driver, but he boxed back on lap 19. So he's using those tires to his advantage. He's absolutely screaming on them in the moment, just slicing and dicing his way through everybody. The 24 machine's on fire. It's going to be up the rest of the field there, and George Gill at the moment is going to be battling at the moment. They have Jeremy Gard. So that, and Jeremy, of course, has fresher tyres too, so I'd imagine George Gill can't put up too much of a fight. You got to remember, tyres are very important there, Jacob. You know that. You could be the quickest driver on the planet, my friend, but unfortunately, there's 4 points of contact that limit your abilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to really make sure that you got. Make sure that you got those tires able to get the grip and make sure that they're not greasy and torn up and all that other good stuff. But you see Kaufman down here trying to work his way around Kraft. Good drive by Kaufman. I mean, literally the only driver really inside the top 6, 7, give or take, that has started outside the top 15. We also mentioned Plumstead and Brown. Both of those guys have started outside the top 20, and they're battling it out for that 9th spot. So big battle going on there as well. But Kaufman doing a pretty good job holding his ground, worked his way around Kraft. Now here comes Bontrager. Bontrager's got some fans out there in the chat as we got a caution again on the Speedway. Caution is out. We're looking through the field trying to find who it is. And I'm not seeing it, Dean. I don't know. They may have just threw, they may have just threw a debris caution right there.
Now, Jackie, we're testing to see if you're going to be the 601st subscriber at the moment there. I think it was Jeremiah Holt. Here it is.
Oh, wow.
Jacob, I caught this one before you did. It doesn't happen very often when you got the redneck announcer in here. Oh, once or twice I beat you on this one, my friend. Can't beat you on a Speedway, but I can beat you sometimes on the cameras.
I might be off my game just a little bit tonight here, Dean, but yeah, you're going to see him get a little bit loose, a little bit shaken up there, and then bam, I mean, wow, what in the hell was they thinking? Like literally 3 of them was going in one spot right there. All 3 of them thought the same thing. It just, unfortunately, everybody kind of got piled in right there. Jeremiah Holt, obviously we talked about it there. You see right there, Barrier gets into Holt, sends him around. But, I mean, it was just, I mean, that's just racing right there, Dean. I mean, that's nothing, crazy. Obviously, these guys probably on the same strategy as the leaders was. As you see a little bit slide up right there by Barrier. Barrier slides up. Holt comes in, tags him in the back end, and then they have one guy back here trying to shoot through the middle after Holt goes down, Barrier up top, and then literally all 3 of them just thought the same thing and thought, well, let's just see if it'll stick, and it didn't end up sticking. But here we go. Pit stops right here. Andy Kurtz going down pit road, literally leading the train. Literally all of them going down pit road right here to get 4 fresh tires, filling up full of fuel. And this could be the money stop right here because they could be able to make it. Even on tires right here, they could be able to make it all the way to the end. Should we go green all the way to the end? Kurtz is going to beat them off of pit road right there, Dean.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a money stop, exactly. George Gill manages to get P2. He gets ahead of Jake and Jamie. Jamie and then James, of course. So James, remember, was getting 13 positions there. Jason Croft. That could be the money stop, my friend. Exactly. That because if we go green in the end, that could be the stop of stops. And unfortunately, we'll have to stop you for a second because we have sponsors to pay. And I hope you're enjoying yourselves at the moment because the redneck announcers in the booth. I love you, Jacob. You're the best in the business, my friend. If you don't have any beef, my friend, I'll throw some on the barbecue. Be back in just a minute.
Folks, there you saw right there, Cruisin' Classics. Proud to have them back as a sponsor here with Goat Locker. And obviously, they was the title sponsor for the Cruisin' Classics Next Gen Series last season. I believe they're going to be back as well as the title sponsor for that as well. Not 100% on that. May have to get with Patrick on that. But obviously, they are a great, great sponsor here with Goat Locker. And all the sponsors with the Goat Locker, you'll see them up there in the top right of your screen. But we want to go ahead and try to bring a driver up. Obviously, we're going to go ahead. We're going to see if we can bring up our leader, as I believe they are coming to one to go. Or they're coming to one to go, Dean. We'll slide it back. I was going to bring up Andy Kurtz.
Yeah, not yet, my friend.
We're coming, but we're coming to one to green, so I'm not going to try to do that. I don't want to screw nobody up or anything like that as we're getting ready for a restart. If we get another quick caution, we may end up bringing up a driver and talking to them real quick before they end up going back for another restart. But hopefully, Dean, they're going to be able to go green all the way, because so far they're putting on a hell of a show, and I'm loving this.
I'm sure at the moment that the Jewel of Queens at the moment there in the chat. I'm sorry, George. I mean, you're the king, but your queen out there is giving it everything she has to get yourself to a race win, and that's George Jewell. So he's up 3, my friend, and he's in a good position. Of course, behind him is Jake as well too, has his fan club out there. I think fan boosts should be something that we should somehow element to this one, isn't it? At the end of the day, give them a like, if they vote in the chat there and there's enough people doing it, they get an extra horsepower. But Jake, we're going to get racing first before we talk about all this dilemma.
Green, green, green.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go back green flag in the air. Andy Kurtz fires off. Jake Ellenson down on the bottom side, he fires off. George Jewell, maybe he missed a gear. He's going to slide back. Mullen's going to take it down to the inside. Andy Kurtz is checked out. Jake Ellenson trying to give chase. Mullen's able to get by. Kaufman getting a little loose up here. He's going to be able to hold it straight, but everybody going to fire past James Kaufman after he gets loose coming off of turn 2 as they're scampering, trying to figure out a way around him. As there you see Jamie Mullins on the outside of George Jewell. This is the battle for third.
It's a good battle as well, too. Exactly. So Andy's up the road there. So nothing to worry about at this point. You can see at the moment Jake and Jamie at the moment here. George Jewell just hanging on tight here after dropping a couple places after that race restart, but it's still good. There's a huge kerfuffle going on in the background as well, too, my friend, as you're going to find it. 3 abreast even, gentlemen. Oh, I saw this last night, actually, 3 abreast. Not recommended, but, well, if you're bold and brave, my friend, it's a race car. If gap car, go for it. Andy Kurtz leading.
Conflobbled.
That's the word I was looking for.
Dean, I have never heard, I don't know what she was going with right there. That threw me off a little bit. But, what I like to call this right here, Dean, I've called it numerous times. This is a hornet's nest back here, because you never know when you're going to get your ass stung right here. So many guys going around trying to be able to try to just pick their way through it and just try to make sure that they don't get stung. And Peyton Hubbard, we saw him start on the outside of the front row. He's back here in the middle of all this. As you see Jeremy Gardner right now trying to work his way by Craig Bontrager. This is the battle for 6th on your screen. Gardner on the inside, Bontrager up top. Gardner going to be able to get the run, slide by him, but watch Bontrager get that run off of the top side. Gardner gets loose, but Bontrager got loose too. If Bontrager wouldn't have got loose, he would have been able to get the run right there, Dean, and he would have been able to do the crossover and jump back down on the inside of Jeremy Gardner. So that's one thing that I really love about this track, because this is not just a single groove racetrack. This track is a multi-groove by a mile. You will see guys like they're doing right now, everybody running right on the bottom of the racetrack. Then, maybe about 15 laps into a green flag run, you'll see guys literally all over the place. And some will be on the bottom, some will be in the middle, some of them will be all the way up, just trying not to jump the cushion on the top side, even in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So, very dynamic and crazy racetrack. Giving that little bit of an old school feel. Because now we got another battle for 6th spot, Craig Bontrager gonna dive back to the inside of Jeremy Gardner. You see it way back there. They almost door bang coming off of turn 2.
I want some door banging, my friend, but I'm going to stick to the front here at the moment, because I think there's something happening at the moment. They're starting to reel in Andy a little bit. Andy's just kind of holding that half a second gap that he has. But Jake and Jamie are working. It doesn't sound like it sounds like a law firm, doesn't it? Sorry, Wesley. It's the Jake and Jamie law firm, and they're chipping away at the moment, and I'm really loving the comments out there. Good driving, everybody, tonight. Good racing tonight. That's what we'd like to hear. And hey, these are the gladiators in the arena, of course. They're the ones that are doing the fantastic work at Leno, my friend. And not too far down the road from you there, Jacob. And remember, I'm sleeping on your sofa tonight, my friend, because my flight is delayed back.
Well, I got bad news for you. You sleep on the sofa. You got to talk to the wife about that one, Dean. She's probably gonna give you a pretty big capital no, and that's capital no is N-O. Both of them is gonna be capitalized because obviously she's the queen, I guess.
She's not
of the
going to let you
household,
sleep
so-
on my sofa after casting a race. That's fine. You know what? I've got some Vegemite for her.
I'll sleep on your sofa.
I'll spread the Vegemite on the toast for you and cook breakfast in the morning. How's that sound?
Wait a minute, hold up. Sleep on your sofa.
No.
I thought you were talking about sleeping on my sofa.
No, I'm sleeping on your sofa. Where I'm going to meet a short drive down there. Trust me, when she has that Vegemite on toast, she's going to love it just as much as we're loving this motor racing there, Jacob.
Oh man, serious battles going on up here. Jason Kraft almost door banging with George Jewell, but Joel able to get the run. Kraft had to get out of the gas, almost ended up turning into a hellacious racing here tonight at Atlanta. Wow, I mean, these guys are putting on a hell of a show. Green flag racing, hard racing right here. Coming around this time, 30 laps to go, Dean. Has anybody got anything for Andy Kurtz? That gap has stalled out a little bit as you see Jamie Mullins trying to work up a little bit to the top, and then he's going to dive down the bottom, try to see if he can get a little bit of a run. You got to be careful coming off the tee. You saw Jake get a little bit loose right there. I've seen that, we've seen that numerous times here tonight. Guys just trying to put it down on the throttle pedal and just seeing just a little bit. They kick that, tail out a little bit, but they don't want to kick it out too much, because if they kick it out too much, then they're going to end up going around and go head on to the inside wall. So a lot of guys flirting with that right now. And I'll say this, Jake and Jamie, they may be flirting right now with trying to catch Andy Kurtz. This is going to be a three-way battle for the lead.
Are you going to the billabong in the outback there? You're flirting with a kangaroo tail? Swinging the tails all around the place, my friend? I don't know. You haven't been out there, my friend. This is exciting, but there's a huge battle at the back at the moment as well. So we're talking a huge battle all the way back here at the moment. I don't want to take the eyes off the sky of this huge battle at the front, of course, because every time I do that there, Jacob, something happens. And we're going to miss it. But we do have drivers, perhaps, going in the pit road. Remember, everybody went back into the pit road on that last caution. So it's a similar situation, I'd say. Jacob no really has a massive advantage apart from this man leading this race currently at the moment, but he's slowly, Jake's chipping into it. In fact, Jamie's dropped off big time there, P3.
Yeah, Jamie slipped off a little bit more than what I thought Jamie was really going to be sliding off, honestly. I mean, Jake has really been putting down some serious lap times. That last time by, Jake Ellenson, he put down a 32 flat. And and Andy Kurtz, he put down a 32 flat as well. So both of them kind of right there, basically very close. But Jake somehow still gained just a little bit. I mean, it was a fraction of an inch at how much he gained. Jamie Mullins, on the other hand, he was 3/10 slower than both of them, running a 32.3. As you see back here with Gardner trying to work his way around George Jewell, try to bump himself up into that fourth spot. And Andy might have got a little bit right there on Jake. Jake hit a 32.2. Andy Kurtz had a 32.1, so got about a 10th on him right there. So just basically trading blows back and forth. As we see some guys trading right here. Gardner trying to see if he can trade some blows with George Jewell. Gardner down on the bottom side. Big Daddy in the 42. He's going to fourth.
Jeremy Gardner, you have a lady out there. Shuster's going to be not happy with you doing that one at the moment, my friend. But hey, what goes around comes around. George Hills perhaps is going to attack again, and he may do that one. Leaders are still separated by about a sofa length away from if I'm going to sleep on Jacob's sofa tonight or not. With 25 to go there, Jacob, and George has backed off a little bit.
We'll see what happens. Obviously, my sofa rates, I guess you could say, is going to be a hell of a lot better than Motel 6. I'll just go ahead and tell you that right now, Dean. But Gardner able to get around him. You see Jamie Mullins, I should say, got both Jamie and Jeremy right there running in third and fourth. But Mullins, obviously, he slipped back a little bit. Now Jake slipped back a little bit. We saw him look like he was actually starting to catch Andy Kurtz. Kurtz has kind of opened it up, got about 0.4 of a second faster that last time by. You see Jason Kraft back here doing a fantastic job right now in that 38, trying to keep it up there comfortably in that 7th position, trying to battle it out right now with Bontrager and Hubbard. And Hubbard was able to get around him right here. Kraft trying to hold his ground. Now Mullins, he's slipping back.
Here comes Jeremy.
Gardner. Gardner gonna get him one. He got around Joel. Now he's gonna go around Jamie Mullins. Hold the phone. We thought, maybe Kurtz may have this sucker in the bag right here, Dave. But this is far from over right now. Gardner's starting to put down some seriously fast lap times.
42 machine at the moment is smelling the exhaust, not of Jake, but of Andy. He's smelling a race win at the moment. He says, all right, okay, I've got P3. All right, done and dusted. Not quite just yet, but who's next? Jake. Look away there, Ray and Doug, of course, and I wish you well, Doug. And he's thinking about Andy Kurtz at the moment. He's like, I want Andy. I'm hunting Andy. I can smell the 42 machine, and I want the race victory. Does he have enough time, Jacob?
He's got plenty of time. Honestly, I mean, I'm sitting here watching Gardner. Gardner to that last time hit a 32.5. Kurtz has actually dropped off to a 32.7. So with the amount of time that there is out there, the amount of laps and the amount of time that he's got, Gardner's only 1.3 back. Jake's starting to kind of reel him in a little bit as well. Obviously, we talked about Kurtz hit a 32.7. Jake just hit a 32.6. Gardner just hit a 32.7 as well. So kind of a trading it back and forth. It's all about trying to finesse it, trying to make, just be perfect right here, Dean. That's what you got to be able to do if you're Kurtz, if you're Ellenson, or if you're Gardner. You got to be perfect right here. Don't slip, don't screw up in any way, shape, fashion, or form, and you'll have a shot to win this race. Kurtz, that last lap, 32.7. Ellenson hit a 32.8. Gardner, 32.7. So all of them starting to match lap times. What they need to do, what Gardner needs to do, Gardner needs to find something. He needs to find whatever the hell he had when he worked his way around Joel and Mullins. He's got to find something right here and find that little bit of extra speed if he wants to have anything. He's got the time, but he's got to find the speed first.
Yeah, exactly. He got to find the speed with the time. 19 to go, so there is a little bit of time, as you mentioned. So it's interesting. Thank you much. This is damn good racing tonight. I do appreciate it. Very respectful racing tonight. Really enjoying the broadcast. We are as well up here because we want to see green, green, green. We want to see racing, racing, racing. And if I had to repeat again, that just sounds more exciting, doesn't it, Jacob? And Jake is really, I don't want to, I'm sorry, Ray, I want to do it to him, but Jake is struggling a little bit in his tires. And what he has to not think about at the moment is the fact this man's coming two for now really, really quickly, as you mentioned, and that's the man called Jeremy.
I mean, yeah, obviously, if you got to repeat it 3 times, Dean, that's a big deal right there. If you repeat something 3 times, I've heard it before, you repeat something 3 times, you get it. So we'll go ahead and everybody try it one time together right here. Beer, beer, beer. I don't have one.
Aussie?
But it is Aussie. There you go. Hey, we got one right here.
Come on, my friend.
Yeah, we got the Aussie right here with us, right here, the Australian Dean Bales. So there you go.
He's
Aussie. That's what you get. As you see right here, Gardner may try to catch us a little bit sleeping. Lap car going around on the outside, so you ain't got to worry about that. Did go down, try to take 4 fresh tires right there. That's the 97, like you said, of Johnny Cofield. He decided to go down and get him 4 fresh tires and maybe try to throw a little bit of wrench in this. Maybe throw some strategy in there because, dang, it's like I said, these guys should be able to make it on gas. Jake. Will they make it on tires? We'll see what happens. Is Gardner going to take a shot to the inside? Both of them was catching Kurtz. Now Gardner is going to battle for that second spot.
Yeah, that lap car might have caught everybody sleeping a little bit. They're going to move a little bit tall back in that Jacob. We don't have tall back in just yet. Oh, way on the inside there. Jeremy's backed off a little bit. He's made a little bit of a mistake. So that's going to buy a little bit of time, you'd have to say there from Jake. More than anything, he's got to look at his rear mirrors and go, okay, Jamie's going to seize an opportunity. Hey, you've got your shot, my friend. You failed an attempt. Further back, of course, have a look at this battle, P6, P7.
Big battle going on back here between Craig Bontrager and Peyton Hubbard. Hubbard down to the inside. We saw him start on the outside of the front row, as mentioned earlier. And now Hubbard down on the bottom side. Bontrager gets a little bit loose. Hubbard going to be able to try to get clear. Is he going to get clear? Yes, he will. Going into turn 3, Bontrager gets out of the gas and lets Hubbard go. So kick Hubbard up to 6th, maybe not. Hit the white line. He slides up the racetrack, almost gets into the wall. Bontrager got loose coming off of 4 as well. I mean, this right here, this is the hardest part of it right here, Dean. When you go this long on this old set of tires, I mean, really old set of tires. I mean, these tires, they're worn out. How worn out are they? I mean, they're burnt. They're burnt like a done steak. I'm not talking about, medium well. I'm talking about well done, where the damn thing is burnt and the cow is dead. That is how worn out these tires is there you see Formosa back here, got a little bit of contact. Some of them ended up going into the wall.
Somebody's blowing his engine.
But Formosa got a couple of guys with blown engines, as you was talking about. The 77
that's cooked,
ends
mate.
up getting involved in that right there. That was Sam Milliken. He ends up going in. There you see Formosa going in, but no caution yet on the Speedway, Dean. We're still green flag racing.
Just as Jacob mentioned about cooking barbecues, Jake has cooked under the fence a little bit there. Jake Ellingson. So Jeremy Gardner's got through on the same time that barbecue engines are burning here in the great Speedway there of Atlanta, my friend. Well, old or new, it's bloody exciting. Andy Kurtz still leads.
Andy Kurtz still got the lead, coming up on 10 laps to go. Jake Ellingson trying to muster something up and maybe try to see if he can try to get back around Gardner right behind him. Mullins not too far back, still a good, well, actually he's a good ways back, about a second back. I thought I saw a car coming around him. Might have been a lap car, but Jake Ellingson gonna try to muster something up and try to get around his teammate right here, Jeremy Gardner, if he wants to have anything to say about all of this. But Kurtz is gone right now at this point. He's about a second and a half ahead of Gardner, and then Gardner's got about a 10th or so. Maybe not. Here goes Gardner. Gardner gets a little bit loose. Ellison may get a run going into turn 3, but he thinks different of it. Gardner jumps down to the bottom. Ellison trying to run the top. Dean, this is what I was talking about here at Atlanta. Just that multi-groove aspect of guys being able to run the top and the bottom. Kind of like Homestead, if you think about it, which is where the Cops Truck Series is going to be at tomorrow night. So this may be a little bit of a preview for some of the Cops Truck guys here with the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. As Ellingson getting loose off of turn 2.
Huge lip there from Jake. Of course, as you mentioned there, there's a bit of battle in the background too, and we'll have to go to this one because this is a three-way party. And George Jewell, of course, the missus is out there looking, the number 1 Jewel in the crown. She's going to be watching the number 2 driver at the 36 machine of George Jewell. I get that right. You never go wrong, right, when you go with the ladies. Because they're behind every great driver is an even better lady. We all know that one, Jacob. But I'll have a ride on board with Craig.
There you see you riding on board with Craig Bontrager. And shout out, literally, to all 43 of you out there in the live chat. The highest number that I've seen all night long. Let's see if we can get to 50. Shout it out to all your friends. Let them all know what's going on right here with 9 laps to go here in Atlanta. Let's see if we can push that number to 50, folks. I'd love to see a 5-0 right there in the live chat. I'd love to see a 57.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jacob, I want a 57.
I would love to see 57 people in the live chat. If you do, I will screenshot it and put it on Facebook.
Whoa.
I'll put it on my TikTok.
Is that a
here
promise?
Tonight. If you can do it, yes. If we can get 57 people in here, if it'll show up on that live chat, I'll screenshot it and I'll put it up on my TikTok. I'll put it on Twitter. I'll put it on all of it. I don't care. I mean, it'd be awesome to end up seeing that right there.
You've heard
the
it live.
Big numbers here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network is Gardner and Ellison still battling for that second spot. Eddie Kurtz, he's checking out.
Jacob, does that also mean to get sleep on your sofa? You can tell the missus that, yes, it's okay if we get 57 people watching live. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Andy Kurtz down the road there, 7 to go. If you're in the shoes right now, the racing boots, of course, off the 42 and the 27 machine that we're watching right now. Can they do anything about the Kurtz machine? Or are they going to settle for the P2 battle?
I mean, honestly, I think what they may end up wanting to wait for, honestly, is a caution right here, Dean, because a caution's really going to get them back into this battle right here. Obviously, Ellison and Gardner both of them battling right now for that second spot. All it's doing is it's helping Kurtz. Kurtz is just checking out. He's loving this battle as you see Ellison get loose once again off of turn 2. All this battling going on. Kurtz has nothing but clean air in front of him. He is straight up gone. He's got to fight nobody. No, I mean, not even a lap car. Nobody's even around Andy Kurtz. So he's got clean air. He can run his race how he wants to. He's hitting 33 ones right now. Gardner hitting 33 ones. Ellison hitting 33 fours. So, I mean, there's a big battle going on, a big difference, I guess you could say right there. We'll slip back just a little bit. See, Jamie Mullins slipping back a little bit. We saw him up there around the 3rd, 4th spot. Might have burnt his tires up a little bit. Chance Taylor, saw him. He started 20th. He's up here in 9th. Kyle Plumstead doing a good job sitting in 10th.
Oh,
got Tyler Brown right behind him as well. But here we go. Craig Bontrager trying to get him some of George Jules side by side, hitting the line. 4 to go this time. Andy Kurtz is checking out. But Craig Bontrager, he's trying to check in to the top 5.
Got to hold on at the moment there. George Shaw's going to hold that position for dear life at the moment. And the missus is out there shouting. I can hear you. I can hear you on the headphones at the moment we have. They're battling out 2 for now at the moment. This is a battle for P5 currently, Jacob. At the moment, 4 to go. And he's got everything in the bag there. And this is it. This is the hot zone car at the moment. I don't think Jake and Jeremy may be 2 for now to the line, but Andy can have this one in the bag. As you said, no, caution!
Oh, hell, this changes everything. Big crash. Back coming into turn number 3, the 29. Mike George ends up going around. Oh, Dean, that changes everything. It changes everything right there.
Yeah, stay there, George, my friend. Don't worry about it. We'll come get a little pickup truck to it moves off there. Good job. Don't move, gentlemen. Remember that. I've spoken about this multiple times, and you have to, Jacob. Your car is stuck somewhere on the speedway. You're just going to stay there for a second. Wait patiently, well, punishingly, for everybody else to pass you. Let's find out what happened to your Mike Star, my friend.
Well, I mean, you see George right here, a little bit of a door bang, I guess you could say, right there with the 86, I believe it is, right there. That's Timothy Wilms. He ends up getting a little bit door banging action with him. And, I mean, George, he tries to hold on to it as much as he can. George and him, both of them, honestly, both of them get loose.
Oh, they did?
George gets loose. George tries to come back up. He tries to straighten it up. He comes back up into Wilms. Wilms gets loose, comes down into him. And then George hits the inside retaining wall. He tries to lock it down, tries to keep it on the bottom side. And then at that point, those tires, Dane, that right there, it's just the tires. It's the worn out tires of these trucks and just how long that they've been out there on that set of tires. George, if he would have been able to save that right there, it'd have been a miracle. Just to be honest with you, and I'm not taking anything away from Mike George. I'm just saying that's just how worn out these tires is and how hard it is to drive on slick, old, greasy tires here at Old Atlanta, because it produces them, and that's one thing that the fans and the drivers have loved about this track for quite some time. But here we go.
Jacob, battle for the pit road.
The pave window is open.
Huge, Jacob.
Andy Kurtz
Who gets
tries
out
to
first?
fire off.
Andy gets out.
Kurtz is going to get it.
Wow, just a little bit ahead, isn't it? It's going to be Jeremy and Jacob. 2 for now, side by side. I think that's going to be the key, isn't it? The battle of the pit road. Wow. And you can make a little mistake in pit road. You know that for a fact, Jacob. We've all done it, right? I can't even get to the fuel pump at a gas station correctly when the fuel, servant's sitting there going, back it up. You missed the whole bloody fuel pump. That's what happens, my friend. That costs you seconds in the motor race.
It absolutely does. Folks, while we got this caution, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Bring you back for the finishes. We're going green, white, chicken racing here with the Goat Locker Racing Series presented by Relevant. Don't go anywhere here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Tell all your friends about it. We'll be right back. Folks, we're back here at Atlanta. You just saw the ad. Played it a couple of times. Proud to have them as a sponsor here with the National 360 Racing Network. That is PremierRacingSetups.com. Go to that website. You will get some of the best and some of the fastest setups that iRacing has to offer. Obviously, you go there, put the code NASRA, NASRA, put that code in there. You get 15% off your entire order. And also 15% gets kicked back to the North American Sim Racing Association. And folks, if you want to race the setups at the Redneck Announcer races, if you want to race the setups that Jeremy Gardner, who's sitting comfortably right now in that second spot, once the lap cars get waved around, Gardner's going to be on the outside of Andy Kurtz. If you want to race the setups right there on that truck, if you want to race our setups, PremierRacingSetups.com. You will not be disappointed. But Dean,
Jacob,
I gotta put you, buddy. I gotta put you in a little bit of a hole here. I gotta do it. Coming down right here, green, white, checkered. Real quick, I'll just give it everybody. Just to let everybody know how this goes. If they'll take the green, if they get a caution before they get back to the line, we'll re-rack them, restack them, do it again. If we get the white flag, leader takes the white flag. No more caution. The next flag will end the race, and it will be a checkered flag. We will get a green flag finish, which we hope will happen. They got 2 attempts at that. If we go to that second attempt and there is a caution before that white flag, the race ends under caution. Dean, the question I was going to get to you, who's your pick?
my pick is if we get to 47 people watching, Jacob's going to do things that Jacob's never done before. So let's see if we can get that one done, my friend. And aside from the gladiators in the arena at the moment there, congratulations. Anybody gets it done. This has been a fantastic race, my friend. That's what I'm more excited about. I'm excited about everybody tuning in and supporting this fantastic league. Remember, it is a league that donates and volunteers, Jacob. So let's go racing, my friend. Bonnie could dictate the decisions.
Green flag is in the air. Andy Kurtz has straight up checked out. Gardner Ellingson battling it out for that second spot. George Jewell down on the inside of Peyton Hubbard. Basically, Andy Kurtz looking like the damn pace car coming off of turn 2. Everybody else too wide. Ellingson gets loose. Ellingson going to slip back through the field. Gardner trying to get a shot. He's going to get a run. Jeremy Gardner going for the lead going into turn 3.
Jeremy's got to do everything he possibly can at the moment to hold on tight there. But it's going to be all tooth and nail, isn't it? And Andy's on the inside apron. We have the white flag, my friend. Jeremy leading.
Gardner's got the lead, honestly, Dean. Obviously, you see the 24 right there. Kurtz trying to get a run. This may end up being an old-fashioned Atlanta finish right here. Kind of throwing it back to Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon here back in 2001 when Harvick was able to make that crazy deal. Matter of fact, Gordon was up on the top side. Harvick was on the bottom. We'll see what they got. Coming off of turn 4, Gardner, Kurtz at the line. Photo finish at the line. Gardner gets it by 8/1000ths of a second. Wow, that right there literally reminiscence to 2001 when Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon finished. I mean, they finished closer than that, but that's a hell of a finish right there and a hell of a race all the way down to the line. Gardner gets the win, Kurtz second, Mullins, Joel, and Kraft, your top 5. What a race, Dean.
How close was that there, Jacob? We're going to have a look at this one really quickly. And we'll have to go to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Yes. Thank you, Arnold. Get to the chopper. Look at that. Little bounce off the fence there, Jacob. And look at this, right? There's your run. Keep an eye out. There's the 42 and the 24 machine. There's a little bit of door banging you wanted to, Jacob. And door back into the line. Inches, my friend. Inches.
I mean, that right there, that is about as clean as a finish as you're going to get right there for what was at stake right there. I mean, literally. I mean, great finish right there. Gardner kind of ran him up a little bit, but I mean, hell, I mean, he's going for the win right there. Gardner did run him up a little bit. He didn't fence him or nothing like that. They did door bang just a little bit. But I mean, in the end, I mean, great finish, great deal by both of them because Kurtz could have just straight up hooked him right there and took the win. But Kurtz obviously class act, Gardner class act, 2 great class act guys here with Goat Locker Racing to be able to finish it off here tonight. There you see the results. Jeremy Gardner gets the win. Andy Kurtz second. Jamie Mullins able to fire back from a little bit of late race issues to be able to get back up here, get third spot. We'll talk to you podium finishers here in just a little bit. George Jewell, Shasta, you may have one spot short of trying to get on the podium. He's going to finish fourth here tonight. Jason Kraft will finish fifth. How about James Goshen? 75 truck, started 21st in the field, way back there in the field. He's going to come home with a top 10 in P6. A good drive right there by James Goshen. Also a playoff driver last season for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. So big deal right there for Goshen to get him a good top 10. Peyton Hubbard up here, able to get him some as well. Started second, fell back 5 spots, still got a top 10. He'll end up finishing on par with his truck number of 7, and that's where he finishes tonight. Jeremiah Holt, we saw this a while ago, Dean. I think he ended up having to use that fast repair, and it worked out to his advantage. We saw him get caught up in a hellacious crash in that 73 of Jeremiah Holt. He's going to end up finishing 8th tonight after starting in P26, so big deal for Jeremiah Holt to get 8th. Zach Engel will get 9th, and Tyler Justice finishes on par with where he started in the 10th spot. Craig Bontrager will end up finishing 11th. Timothy Stubblefield started dead last on the field in 30th. He's going to end up finishing in 12th tonight. It's a good drive by Stub Nation to get up there and get himself a top 15. Kyle Plumstead will get 13th. Good drive by him. Talked a lot about him earlier on in the race. James Kaufman will get 14th. Timothy Williams, 15th. Matt Knights will get 16th. Jake Ellenson, your pole sitter, is going to finish 17th after getting a little bit loose right there on that green-white checkered attempt. Got loose, and everybody was able to fire right past Jake. So unfortunate out there for Ray and Dougie, but Jake is going to end up finishing in the 17th spot here this evening. Tyler Brown will end up finishing 18th. Sam Milliken will end up finishing 19th, and Alan Marshall will get 20th. John Anthony will get 21st. He's the last driver to finish on the lead lap. Chance Taylor is going to finish 22nd, 1 lap down. Colton Lanford, Johnny Cofield, Brandon Wallace, Mike George, Scott Formosa, Jonathan Baker, Brandon Barrier, and Dustin Hardy, the 30 trucks that started here this evening. Justin Klein, Mark Hollifield, Eric Martinez, Joe Hobbs, and David Kamara did not start the race. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with that man right there on your TV screen, Jeremy Gardner, here right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Folks, we're back here at Atlanta, the legacy version of Atlanta Motor Speedway, the NRA Power post-race interviews. We got the man himself, number 42 for Premier Racing Setups, Jeremy Gardner gets the win. And Jeremy, I mean, I talked about it on the broadcast. You and Jake back there battling it out for that second spot. I said on the broadcast, I said on there that both of y'all was praying like hell that y'all would get a caution. Was y'all praying for that caution? I mean, was I right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to be honest, I was praying for it, man. I killed my tires. I think I had to come from 11th, and I think I got up to what, second or third? Yeah, I killed my tires, and I don't know if y'all seen it on the broadcast, but 3 or 4 to go, I got sideways out of two, went down below the apron, and came back up, and I thought for sure me and Jake were done. But I'm kind of glad that caution definitely came out.
And then obviously right there at the end, I talked about it on the broadcast. Obviously some old school vibes right there with that 24 DuPont, and then you as well down there on the bottom. But I mean, kind of looking like Jeff Gordon up there on the top side. Kind of threw it back 2001 with that photo finish all the way down the line. We just keep showing it. Just how close it was, 8/1000ths of a second. Just talk me through that whole last lap right there with you battling with Andy Kurtz for that win.
Yeah, I mean, I figured, starting on the outside, I would have a decent run. Jake got by me a little bit. He got loose. And then on my exit of two, Andy got loose. And I was like, well, here's my chance. I figured, Andy would have a good run, have a good restart. And him getting loose definitely helped me. So that was a hell of a finish right there. I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't think I had that in the bag, but that definitely surprised me right there. That was a great finish, man. I hadn't ran with Andy much. He runs Arco a lot, but I know he runs guys really clean. He's really fast, but I tried to keep that as clean as I could right there. I didn't want to wall him. I wanted to make him earn it. But that was one hell of a finish. That right there showcases what GLR races really can be.
Absolutely. Jeremy Gardner gets the win here tonight. Jeremy, congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
Yeah, man. I mean, as usual, you got Pat and Jamie for all they do. They put on a hell of a league every single week. We got Lincoln Tech on this year, Iron Vets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundation, one of my sponsors. I appreciate them. Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs came on this year. They build great PCs, so definitely look out for them. Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, and of course iRacing coming on this year to support all the veterans and everything. So big shout out to iRacing, Big Fish Barbecue, and of course y'all guys. Y'all put on a hell of a broadcast every week, and we appreciate y'all guys.
We appreciate y'all. Jeremy Gardner gets the win here tonight at Atlanta. Jeremy, appreciate your time, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Big Daddy out.
I completely forgot about that one right there. Yeah, Big Daddy, Jeremy Gardner gets the win. And now we're going to go to the man that was 8/1000ths of a second from getting another win here this season. That's Mr. Andy Kurtz. Andy, obviously, congratulations on second place finish. Hell of a race all the way from front to back. Just tell us about your race and also that battle right there with Jeremy coming to the line.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think the race was a lot of fun. I can't remember last time I think a car has been such a handful than this truck at Atlanta tonight. So that was a lot of fun trying to figure it out. I don't think I ran more than like 5 laps at a time in practice just because I couldn't keep it together. So awesome to see us have such a good green flag run there at the end. And yeah, just trying to learn and manage my stuff. Really didn't know how I would kind of shake out compared to everyone else on a long run. So it was super loose. Just trying to not make any mistakes. And unfortunately, that caution came out at the field. And I ended up, like Jeremy said, I made a mistake coming out of 2, just cooked it a little bit too much, got loose. I knew he was coming. I didn't want to. I'm blocking him or anything. He was coming too quickly. But yeah, I think we had an awesome finish. That was a lot of fun. I really never was a part of a finish like that before. So hopefully we put.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a straight up hell of a finish right there, Andy. Awesome to see it. We're still seeing it. This is one that we're going to be talking about for quite some time with Goat Locker, but obviously next week's going to be a good one too, because basically, Goat Locker with the Relevant Truck Series, they're going to be staying in redneck country for the next 2 weeks. Obviously with Atlanta here tonight, and then next week you go into the bluegrass state of Kentucky. How we feeling about that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, looking forward to it. I love Kentucky. I think this truck has been a ton of fun since the era update. So really changed it, really made it really loose. So you kind of have to relearn it all over again. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how it races there. And yeah, I think we'll put on another good show like we did tonight.
Absolutely. Andy Kurtz gets the win or gets second here tonight. Excuse me. It was that damn close, Andy. I mean, sorry. It was that damn close. But Andy Kurtz
I
gets
wasn't gonna
second.
correct you.
Well, I mean, you've won a lot with Goat Locker. We're just throwing it out there. But Andy Kurtz gets second here tonight. And Andy, before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs you want to thank?
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, congrats to Jeremy on his win here. Yeah, I want to thank you guys, Mazda 360 Racing Network. Watching it here on the broadcast, but I'll definitely go back and check out the whole race. Appreciate all that you guys do. Pat and Jamie and Jake for putting this on for us. Lincoln Tech, Invents, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, and Big Fish Barbecue for helping us put this season together.
Andy Kurtz gets second, throwing it back to Jeff Gordon right there with the DuPont Chevrolet paint scheme. Andy Kurtz, appreciate your time, buddy. We'll see you in the Bluegrass State next week.
All right, man.
That was Andy Kurtz. Now we're going to bring it over to the third place finisher, number 66, Jamie Mullins. Honestly, I mean, Jamie, I'll just be honest with you. I think you may have been in the same situation as Jeremy Gardner, because I mean, there for a little bit right there on that long green flag run, you may have been praying like hell for a caution as well. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I was. Jeremy kind of button hooked us a little bit there on that one caution. He dove in, and me and Jake stayed out. So we were just hoping that it would be a quick caution where we could come in. And luckily, it came out at the right time. I mean, I think I lost maybe a couple spots there during that yellow flag, and then I don't know, there towards the end, if it wasn't for that last caution, I was fading fast. I don't know what I did. I ended up looking at my tires after that pit stop, and my right front was 31%. So I must have been doing something very, very wrong.
And, you know, Jamie, I mean, obviously very, very clean race here tonight. It's something that, you know, we haven't really seen a whole lot of, obviously, you know, a lot of growing pains, you know, on the Thursday night series with big fields here. I mean, just, you know, just tell us, you know, just about, you know, what it means to just have probably one of the best races really that I've seen in quite some time here with Goat Locker. Just tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very big field, and I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, these guys are starting to learn to race around one another, find out how other drivers are racing, and I got a feeling it's going to even be even better. Goat Locker always puts on a top-notch league, and you know, I think it's one of the best leagues out there, especially with the racers that we have in here. Good bunch of people, great guys to race around.
Jamie Mullins ends up getting third here tonight. Jamie, first of all, congratulations on that, buddy. And also, if you got any, or before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
Oh, definitely. I know the other two guys hit them all, but I want to thank the sponsor on my truck right now, Roofing, and my Veterans for Life Foundation team. Congratulations, Jeremy, my teammate over at Veterans for Life Foundation. Lincoln Tech, Invets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Alexander PCs, Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, of course, for allowing us to be able to develop a sim and allow us to be able to race on here, Big Fish Barbecue, and especially y'all. I'm glad to be back racing and go back to listening to the broadcast. I know it's going to be fun, but I do want to throw out there on this last lap with Peyton Hubbard. I saw him get loose. I was trying my best to stay off of him, and I think I got into the back of him, but I just wanted to apologize to him, and congratulations to old Big Daddy Gardner, my teammate there.
Jamie, don't worry about it. We didn't catch it on the broadcast. It's all good. What happens in the broadcast stays in the broadcast there, Jamie. But speaking of which, of course, the sponsors, you're in Tennessee, right, my friend? Is at the
Yes, sir.
Piney Flats. It's not too far to go to Indianapolis, is it, mate? We can go. I can ride shotgun with you, right? The car show coming up this weekend.
Oh, well,
Gonna be up there?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to check that out. I mean, I got to work this weekend, but
Oh,
you know,
all
I'm
right.
pretty sure my boss would.
We'll send the helicopter, the Nazareth helicopter, to come pick you up. You'll be right.
Well, yeah, that'll work. I'll just tell him, you know, I have to take like I woke up that morning and I had to go to work and I couldn't see, you know, I couldn't see myself coming in that day.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
we've all been there. But Jamie Mullins gets third here tonight. Jamie, appreciate your time. We'll see you in the Bluegrass State next week.
Thanks, sir. Y'all have a good night.
That was Jamie Mullins gets third here tonight. Dean, closing thoughts on a fantastic race from literally start to finish here at Hotlanta.
I'm glad. I'm glad everybody in the chat as well too, Jacob. They're all excited. They're all hyped, and thank you, because it means a lot to us, right? Yourself, Jacob, and myself, and don't forget the huge production team. Everybody puts this league on. Everybody behind the scenes, they do so much to make this work. And I mean, Goat Locker Racing as well too. You know, we had a race last night. It wasn't the best of best races per se, but you know what happens? You rebound back and you have better races, and there are better races that occur. So you have good days and bad days, Jacob. But I tell you what, every single day to me, when it comes to motor racing on Nazareth and Goat Locker, is a fantastic day, Jacob. Especially if I'm in the booth with you, my friend, and I'm sleeping on your sofa. Get ready. Tell your missus.
Yeah. I got a feeling my wife will probably end up having something to say about that one right there, Dean. You say what you want, but I'm going to tell you right now, she's not going to be too happy about that. But folks, fantastic race here in Atlanta. Obviously, love the old surface, the new surface, whichever one that they're on. They always end up putting on a hell of a show. Doesn't matter who it is, but I'll tell you this much, Goat Locker knows how to do it, and they have done it here tonight. We want to congratulate Jeremy Garner on the win. Congratulations to all the drivers for putting on one of the best races, like I said, that Goat Locker really has ever done, and at one of the hardest tracks, literally, to ever put that show on. So shout out to each one of the drivers, and shout out to the live chat. I mean, hell, we had like close to 45 people watching live.
Not 47
here tonight. 47.
57,
Yes, you were
57.
10 short. But no, we didn't have the 57. Trust me, I was looking for it, because if I'd have got 57, I really would have done that screenshot. But I mean, just shout out to every single one of you out there in the live chat for coming out, supporting your family, your friends, your colleagues, however you want to look at it. Shout out to everybody at Goat Locker, all the sponsors, especially Relevant, for being the title sponsor here for the Truck Series presented by Relevant, Premier Racing Setups, Nazareth 360 Racing Network with Brady and Cody and everything that they do, and Patrick Drabick and Jake Ellenson, everybody. I mean, it's a collective group, Dean, that's able to just put it all together. Honestly, we're the ones that just get to talk about it. For the Australian, Dean Biggles, I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, saying, as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and oh yeah, we're going to get our damn fiddles out next week, folks. We're going to the Bluegrass State. We're going to Kentucky Speedway next week for the Relevant Truck Series here with Goat Locker, folks. There you see it. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time next Thursday night on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We'll see you there, and bring your fiddle.